create a new reality. We are one. Let us just take a moment to allow that acknowledgement to land. Miigwech. Let us join together in consciousness as we begin this evening. There is one power in the universe, one infinite creative intelligence, one divine energy that is fully present at all points in space. It is life, it is love, it is peace, it is joy. And in that, I'm a joy with that. I'm filled with a sense of well-being, and I know that as we begin this evening, that tonight something beautiful occurs. Something is said or done that touches minds and hearts and awakens a deeper understanding, a deeper awareness of who and what I truly am, what you truly are. It is in that awakening that love is realized, peace, joy, and I know that this truly is the beginning of a marvelous opportunity. So grateful for this time together, grateful for health and vitality, strength and well-being, grateful for a beautiful service. I release these ideas into the law of mind, knowing it is done. All is well. And together we say, and so it is. Well, we're going to take a little moment here to sing I Am So Blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Oh, we can do better than that. Yay, Genevieve! Woo! Let's just ramp it up a notch or two. Well, our vision is transforming humanity through the emergence of the sacred, authentic self. Each one of us is created unique and special. Each one of us is some divine idea in the infinite one, and so we want to wake that up. And so everything we do, the music, the message, all of it comes together to help us find our true identity, give up the other things that have been going on for us. Our mission is to welcome you as you are, where you are, without judgment or criticism, providing a sacred place of learning and growing as you seek to achieve your greatest desire. We accomplish this by offering Science Mind classes, social events, inspiring workshops, thought-provoking services, let's hope, and practitioners' support. We honor the revelation of your emerging sacred authentic self through our positive messaging and our loving support. I need to take this up a notch. I feel like I'm bending way down. There we go. All right, okay. So in the Science of Mind 365 book, Ernest Holmes wrote, "The universe is a spiritual system of complete consciousness, entire wholeness, the sum total of which is present everywhere." We are both scientifically and inspirationally, spiritually and philosophically in accord with the great intuitions, the spiritual revelations of all ages, And they have announced, of course, that God is over all, in all, through all, and is all. So sometimes when we use the word God, we get confused because history, right? We were raised with the idea of some guy up here pointing his finger down, going, sinner. But the reality is that there is an energy in the universe that is infinite, everywhere present, all powerful. If it's everywhere present, it's where? Right here. So we want to make sure that we're not, when we use the word God, let's not get too caught up with it. It is merely an expression of an infinite possibility that cannot be expressed from our finite perspective. We like to try, but it is not possible for us to do that. So the power is life itself. It is the essential essence that each one of us is. It's all good. It contains all wisdom, all joy, all peace, all love, all strength. And at the center of my being, the center of your being, this perfection exists within us. And so as we begin this evening, we begin by coming to an understanding of what the mystics taught. They taught us that everything is energy, that everything is oneness. There is no separation, them and us, this and there, that and up and down. Oh, I'm getting them all confused. Up and down, here and there, this and that, right? It's just all one. So we want to begin to reframe our thinking, reframe our thought process around what spirituality is. And I'm here to tell you, you are a spiritual being. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to go find it. You don't have to pick it up at the corner store, or your favorite, little shop that's got the crystals and stuff. Don't need to go there. You are spiritual. The challenge we have is the human thing, right? It's this container that's squishing our essence, and we're going, come on, let me breathe a little bit. So that's the part that's difficult for us. So when we come to understand that, we can begin to shift from the idea of, I'm not good enough, I need to be fixed because I'm broken, right? We've all heard that somewhere. Probably my mom, but what we want to remember is none of that is true, that each one of us, in fact, is perfect, whole, and complete, that we were created in the image and likeness of the Creator. That does not mean that the Creator is 5'2" with purple hair and tattoos. What it means is that the Creator, the infinite intelligent energy of the universe, is being me and is being you. It's not, God was not created in our image, we're created in its image. It, you got that right? It, not he, not her, it. So when we come to understand this energy as a presence, that is the cells of my body, it is this music stand, it is this binder that I'm holding, it's the only thing that exists. And when we can come to acknowledge that within ourselves, we begin to free ourselves from the limitations, the restrictions that have been holding us back as we've been moving forward. So as we begin tonight, I invite you to, listen to the words of Ernest Holmes and what the mystics have taught. There is but one ultimate reality, and that ultimate reality is here now.
Nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Nothing you can know that isn't known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. Nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's it's easy. All you need na 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 na. All you need excuse me. Na 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 na. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Give me those lyrics. Give me those lyrics. Genevieve, I want that. I want those lyrics, please. There's a great message in that song, and you know, the Beatles had some wisdom, didn't they? They had some wisdom. There is nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing that you can say that you cannot learn how to play the game. What's interesting is when you think about those lyrics, they're really telling us that everything's possible. And of course, the way to its attainment is love. Love is the way, the answer. It is the thing. So today we're talking about living in the infinite ocean. And the infinite ocean is the energy of the universe. It's the all in the all. It has no beginning, no ending. It is the only thing that exists. We live, move, and have our being in it. The energy of love means oneness. And so when we look around this room, when we look around the Zoom room, there actually is no separation. We're all connected. There is these infinite cells that, you know, when you break them right down, they become atoms. And when you break that way down, it becomes, you know, neutrons and protons. I don't know. What are all the things, Genevieve? You know that. She's in chemistry. But you break it all down to space with little bits of things in them called quarks and leptons. And that's what everything's made of. And then what forms it into a shape is our thinking. So we want to check in, you know, what am I thinking about? As I live in this infinite possibility, why is it that my life sometimes feels so limited? Why is it that I feel challenged day by day? Why is it that, you know, things keep showing up that interrupt the great joy that I really want to experience? And what we soon come to understand is that the only thing that's stopping and blocking us, the only thing preventing us from realizing our grandest vision, our greatest dream, is an idea in mind. That's it. So what is it I think about moment by moment and day by day? What is it that's going on in here? Have you ever listened to yourself when you have to, like, you know, sit and wait for the subway forever? You know, and your mind is going, and is your mind thinking, all you need is love, da, 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 da. Or is it going, okay, where is it? I'm going to be late. This is what's going on. I hate this. This has always happened to me. I can't believe everything goes wrong all the time, no matter what I'm thinking, saying, or doing. It's like all this stuff is messing up my day. I'm going to be late for my appointment. I'll be late for school. And then our life, which reflects consciousness, right? I have an idea, and the universe brings into my experience everything that matches. There's a matching energy that happens, and it's called the law of attraction. And what happens with the law of attraction, you know, I can sit back and say, I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise. Oh, damn, I can't believe that crap happened again today. So what does the universe respond to? The negative thought. Why? Because it's the predominant thought. See, we go through our day thinking how terrible things are. But what if we shifted that? What if we decided instead that there's an infinite power in the universe, that is present everywhere, so it's got to be here, that it is my mind that moves it into form, and I want something new or different in my life? What if I'm powerful enough to begin to change what I'm doing because I'm part of this infinite ocean? And I like the idea of an ocean because we know it's salt water, right? But I also know that if I take a cup of it out, I still have all of the ocean in it, right? Every attribute of the ocean is in that cup. And if I take a tablespoon, everything in that ocean is in that tablespoon of water. It's all the same stuff. And if I freeze a bunch of it up near, the North Pole or whatever, it's still the same thing. Each one of us is a part of something greater than what we have any idea about. And we're living in it. And the way we move it in the way we want, with water, right? We put it in the freezer, we get ice. We had to do something, right? There was an action we had to take to begin to create that. And so as we're moving along, we want to find ways to create the life that we want to live. And so there's some very easy, tangible things that we can do. And the first one is the hardest. Change your thinking. And those of us who've been around for a while, I know some of you are pretty young, but those of us who've been around for a while, well, we're still working on it. We're still sitting on the 401 cursing somebody. We're still sitting at the subway station going, I can't believe the train is not coming again. It's interrupted. They want me to grab a shuttle. I don't want to do that. I'm driving along the Danforth, and they've made all these bike lanes, great for cyclists. Great. There's cyclists in the house. And that's great, because I think more of us cycling is probably a good idea. I'm not going to do it, but I'm sure lots of people will. But the thing is that when we see these things that interrupt our pattern, we get a little annoyed, don't we? A little bit frustrated, because I don't want to change anything about my experience to accommodate something else. So we've been faced with some really interesting things of late, haven't we? We've seen genocide in Canada. Who knew? Well, we should have always known. It happened a long time ago, still happening today. So we look at that and we go, well, what do we do to change it? We begin within ourselves to find peace, to find acceptance, and to find love. See, when we come to understand that there are no thems, there's only ever us, there is no I and you, there's we, that we are all part of one thing, our responsibility level changes. Has anybody ever heard of Ho'oponopono? Yeah. It's a great practice. The idea of the Ho'oponopono practice, which is a Hawaiian spiritual practice, is that there is only one. That's what we've been talking about all the time. Science Mind is all about that. So if there's only one, then I have the ability within me to begin to heal whatever part of me is out of sync. And with the Ho'oponopono, and y'all, when you get home, you can get on your tablets or your phones, probably your phones, right? And you can go, what on earth is a Ho'oponopono? And you'll find it. Lots of O's in there. Dr. Lam, who is most famous about this particular teaching, he was hired in the Honolulu hospital in the criminal psychic ward where the criminally insane were held. And at that time, people didn't want to work there because it wasn't safe. And so they really had trouble keeping staff, and staff that were there sometimes got harmed, and it was not a great place to work. So they hired this Dr. Len, and he said, fine, I'll come in, but he says, I won't meet with a single patient. Not a one. Good doctor, eh? Not going to meet with anybody. So he would sit down with the file of the individual, and he would read it, and then he would find all that was going on with them within himself. Right? There's only one of us here. If I see evil out there, then it has to be something in me that connects to that. There has to be a part of me that is that. I might not be revealing it totally everywhere, but it's got to be here. It has to be something in me, because there's only one thing going on. So when he would go within himself and he would find this spot in him that could be that, and he would work on that. And the prayer, I don't think I remember it exactly, but it's something like, I'm sorry, please forgive me, Thank you. I love you. Well, doesn't that sound like the oddest practice you ever heard? A doctor sitting with a bunch of papers saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. The interesting thing is that the patients healed or improved drastically. They ended up closing that entire ward of the hospital because they no longer needed it. When we talk about the power of the mind, we're talking about something that's beyond the scope of our intellect to really comprehend it. We're talking about something so big, like the ocean, this infinite possibility that as we begin to look at the world from a new vantage point, we begin to see new possibilities and we start to define ourselves differently. Instead of thinking that we are limited, flawed, and broken, the very part of us that we have named bad and wrong may very well be the part of us that absolutely, when brought together with the part we like, creates the whole. You know, when we look at that yin yang symbol, you know, the white and the black together, but both are part of each other, we get that idea of how all of it makes the whole. And so I have to come to a place where I accept all of me, not some of me, all of me. The part of me that my mom said was bad and wrong, the part of me that, you know, my ex-husband didn't like, the part of me that my husband tonight was getting annoyed about, whatever is going on, right? I need to find that part of me and love it into wholeness, because as I come to love myself completely, what I do is become who I really am. We came into this life perfectly. And we were little children exploring, trying to figure stuff out and stomping in mud puddles and picking our nose and taking our clothes off in public and doing all kinds of really fun and interesting things. But the people around us didn't like those interesting things very much. And so we were being told, don't do that, don't do that. No, 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 no. And we come to think that, wow, I must be really awful. I must be a really awful whatever, because everybody around me is constantly telling me that I need to do different things, do it differently, be better. Well, I'm here to tell you they lied to you, that what they were projecting had nothing to do with you. It was to make them more comfortable. See, parents like to be comfortable. Teachers like to be comfortable. So they set up a way of life that fits. Guilty as charged. I'm a parent, I'm a teacher, I get it. I want to be comfortable. And I think back to some of the things I said to my eldest children, and I think, oh my goodness gracious, girl, what did you do? What did you do? Not you, you're okay. You know, you got things a little different than the previous generation, because my eldest children sort of got the old-fashioned me, and this one got a newer reality, but I'm still making mistakes. Yes, okay, we have agreement. Get agreement out of a teenager, that is a good sign. I like that, yes. So in The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes wrote, divine mind is the one and only reality. The infinite supply of ideals expressed as ideas is true wealth. And when we think about wealth, we're not talking about money here. We're talking about well-being. And well-being comes from coming to accept who I am, not who everybody wants me to be, not what's going to make everybody comfortable around me. I'm kind of loud. My parents always thought I was a bit too much. And then some people go, you're not really enough. So who are you going to listen to? Where are you going to go for feedback that's actually positive and uplifting, feedback that's honest and true? And the only person who knows you is you. No one else does, because no one else lives in here. Only you know what it is you really feel about life. It's only you that really knows what makes you excited and delighted. It's only you that knows what really gets your juices flowing so you're ready to take on a new project or a big idea. You're the only one who knows what it is you truly love, what you truly think, what you truly feel. So people around us who are sending us messages, the messages they send come from them. It's about them. Now, that's not to say that we get off the hook when we do nasty, mean things. When we do nasty, mean things, the universe is an exact system. Whatever you put out comes back, multiplied and overflowing. How great is that? So if you are putting out a lot of angry, miserable, I used to do that. I talked about that last week, that I was kind of a bitch. And that would come back to me overflowing. Man, people, a lot of people didn't really like me very much because I was pretty angry, pretty miserable. And, you know, it was my way of being. I was angry at my parents. I was angry at life. I was angry at, well, I didn't really think about God because I didn't believe in that. Or it wasn't that I didn't believe in it, I just didn't believe in the guy in the sky. So there was a part of me that was struggling to find a new identity. And so I began with the personal development work, and that led me to spiritual work, which led me to here. Now, the bonus is, the joy of having a life is that you can speak about things if you're willing. You know, some people might not want to share quite as much as I do, but you can speak about things in a different way because you have firsthand knowledge. You've lived in the gutter, and because you've lived in the gutter, you have an idea of how to get out of it. Because you've had hard times, you have an idea of what a good time actually looks like and feels like, and also how to begin to create it. So we're living in infinite potential. And the only limitation is the limitation that I put on myself. And so if I can come to understand that I am part of something bigger, something dynamic, something powerful, and that power is right here, and all I have to do is think along different lines, and I begin to reveal that in my life and in my world. Thomas Troward, who was one of the, well, he was a judge and a great author, but a great metaphysician. And he was one of the people who helped Ernest Holmes really kind of anchor this teaching that we call science of mind. Thomas Troward observes that the universe creates by contemplating itself. And in the science of mind, we say that we become what we think about. The ancient metaphysical philosopher Plotinus reminds us, I do not argue, I contemplate. And as I contemplate, I let fall the seeds of thoughts into the mirror of mind, which then becomes the mirror of matter. So this teaching, we call it New Thought. It's been around forever. We're talking, way back to the beginning of time. Everything that exists began as an idea in mind. And so when we're looking at our world and we're looking at our life and we're looking at the journey that we're on, what we want to do is pay really close attention to where our thoughts go. And so when we are doing our spiritual practice, which I think is a really valuable thing, our spiritual practice, whether it's meditation, whether it's prayer, whether it's journaling a little bit, being grateful, grateful's a good one, that practice helps us to see where we are. And when we look at our world out here, if you look at your life and go, man, I hate my life, then probably there's some work to do. Not for someone else to do, because sometimes we want somebody else to do it because then we'll feel better. You know how we go, oh, it's your fault, you did it. Just kidding. Right? You said this, you did that, you made me feel really bad. A friend of mine, she might be online, a friend of mine was telling me about her sister one time who had a roommate, and the roommate was going, you make me so angry. Anybody here ever do that? Just me? You make me so angry. And so her sister looked at her roommate and said, okay, then be happy. That really upset her. She went from angry to explosive. But we do this all the time, don't we? We go, well, you made me mad, or this made me upset, this made me frustrated. No. The way I thought about an event is what caused me frustration. The way I thought about what happened brought up my anger. The way I thought about what's going on around me really annoyed the hell out of me. So I'm the creator of my emotion. Huh, darn. It's so much easier to say, my husband did it, my kid did it, my boss did it, somebody did it. Somebody did it to me. But what if nobody did? What if every single thing in my life is under my own power, my own strength, my own ability? What if everything in my life, I have the ability to expand it, to grow it, to make it just the way I want? Imagine, we've all seen the movie Aladdin, and Aladdin gets the little lamp, and then the genie pops out. As you wish, master. I give you 3 wishes. Well, I'm here to tell you the universe has given you infinite wishes. And they're not wishes, it's like demands on the universe. It's like I'm healthy and happy and I'm filled with light and love, and I am going to take on this world like there's no tomorrow. I'm choosing to be what I was created to be, and by being that, I create a better world. As each one of us finds our own light, our own strength, our own passion, and we live it and we share it with the world around us, everybody benefits. When we play small, we pretend, we hide, we hold back, everybody loses, most especially ourselves. So it's time. It's time for us to live in a new way and to recognize we're part of something really huge and that it operates through us. Eric Butterworth in Spiritual Economics wrote, "When we establish ourselves in the consciousness of God, the whole universe moves to flow into us with its abundance of life and substance." Wow. In that moment of consciousness, Joseph Campbell in Thou Art That wrote, "God is a word referring us past anything that can be conceived of or named." We use that word, God. What is it really? You can't define the infinite from our finite perspective. But here's what I know, is I had an experience when I got on this spiritual path, and the experience I had was a direct revelation where the universe sort of opened up in a moment of great illumination, where I went from being in complete darkness to the light being turned on. It's like walking into a room, like when we walked in here tonight and all the lights were off and we had to start flipping switches or finding them, turn the light on. It's like, whoa, that's what it looks like. How cool is that? That's exactly what happened. That's the best way to describe it, because there was a moment of, life is awful, I'm a miserable, cranky person, and then all of a sudden it was like, whoa, this energy, this thing that people name God is the energy of my life. It is the substance of my existence, and it's love. Who knew? It's love. So there is no judgment or criticism. There is no ridicule, and there is no evil. How's that for a strike? There's no evil. Evil is the misuse of the same power, right? It's like electricity. We can't see electricity, can we? We can see the effect of electricity, but we can't see it. We can't see gravity, but we can experience the effect of it, right? Probably can't even explain it all that well. Something about the revolution of the planet, and I don't know, it holds us together somehow. I'm not a scientist. But there's something going on that's unseeable, unknowable, and yet we can use it consciously. And by doing that, we can begin to create harmony and love and peace in our life and in our world by becoming that which we desire. If I desire love, I must be that. If I desire peace, I must be peaceful. Not when it's easy. I need to be peaceful when it's difficult. When somebody's in my face screaming and yelling at me that I'm no damn good. Thank you for sharing. Interesting perspective. Not really in agreement with it, but you go at it. It's like last week when people were typing in the chat all kind of obscenities. All right, we'll just shut off the chat next week. The week before that, when somebody interrupted my talk with some incredible obscenities. All right, we'll just go in and edit it out and repost the video, and we will make a change on Zoom so nobody can unmute themselves. The thing is that we can respond to life or we can react to life. And it's up to us, and it's our thinking that makes it so. What I think about, I bring about. And when I'm focused on everything that's wrong and bad, and it's easy, we all go there, I go there. And it's like when you notice it, stop it. Go, oh, I'm doing it again. Oh my God. Let me stop. Let me do something different. Let me go into my heart space and find a new reality. On Friday, we had an event at Allen Garden for Truth and Reconciliation. And it was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm a board member of PWA, and we had a beautiful gathering in the garden. All these people gathered around in a circle, and we were sharing a sacred stone, and when we had the stone, we got to speak. But what's interesting is when the spiritual advisor of PWA started the ceremony with his drumming, eagles circled overhead. And we were all like, are you kidding? It's like the energy of our oneness becomes revealed in that moment. And the circle, it was a pretty big circle too. And as the circle, as people were going around and sharing their gratitude or sharing their love or sharing their whatever was going on for them, the only thing I could think of when the stone came to me was, may I have forgiveness for my ancestors, for the settlers who came to this country and destroyed language and culture. Can I have forgiveness because it's my ancestors? And can I be a change agent for a new reality? Can I come into life and do things differently, better? Can I honor every person? Can I choose love? And I have to remind myself sometimes, because sometimes people just kind of piss you off, right? Because we're people, we do that. It's okay. But in the moment that we become that, we're putting an energy into this infinite oneness that is destructive and challenging and difficult. And it's pulling the energy of consciousness down. But when we can go into it with this energy of love and gratitude and appreciation, there's an uplifting that happens, not just for me, but for all of humanity. It's like everything changes in that moment. And I'm going to share an experience that Genevieve and I had. We were at a Shoppers, and there was a gentleman outside who was asking for money, and all I ever have on me is plastic. So I said, well, I can get you some food. And he's like, really? So we go in and we buy some things, right? Some healthy choices, nuts and cheese. And well, I'm vegan now. I don't think I'd find cheese all that well, but all kinds of good, more nutritious things, right? Water and whatnot. Brought it out to him and gave it to him. And he was just delighted. He grabbed me and gave me a big hug. And then he looks at Genevieve, who I think was about 15 at the time. Or, okay, 12. What do I know? She was younger than she is now. And, he looked at her and you could tell he was debating, because this is a grown man, right? Should I give her a hug? And then all of a sudden he goes, oh, come here, you little shit. And he gives her a great big hug. And it was a really beautiful exchange. A beautiful exchange that most people would miss because they would ignore him going in. They would ignore this human being standing in front of them that was some part of them. But what was interesting was when we got in the car, and I can't remember exactly what you said, but something like, wow, that was amazing. Like it was a beautiful experience. We have a choice every day in every way to decide to be something great, or we can decide to hold back our essence, our love, our light. But when we come to understand that we live in this infinite ocean, that we are all connected, although it looks like there's a bunch of us here, you know, online, in person, the reality is there's only one thing going on, and we live, move, and have our being in it. So I invite you this week to contemplate life, to contemplate your journey, and to contemplate what it is you would like to create, what kind of world you want to live in, and then be that. Thank you.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a bold world and a new world for me. Oh, for me. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling
Sorry, Amy.
Only two. Say that was a great evening and we're not done. But what? If you were cold before, you must be hot by now. That was amazing. Thanks, Rev B, for your talk, and Dave and Genevieve. Wow. Well, I'm up here to give you the announcements, but I was just thinking of the movie Moonstruck when you were singing. That's how beautiful that was, like just stunning. I'm breathless, and that's not a good thing in my condition at the moment. But you took my breath away. Wow. So we should just give you another round. Wow. Oh, the people that are missing out. Anyways, we invite you to sign up for our newsletter so you don't miss a thing that's going on here at Exciting CSL. And on October the 17th, it's a really big day, a really big show. Ed Sullivan used to say that, and you guys would never know that man's name, but a really big show. We will be celebrating with Rev B and Pierre as they renew their wedding vows. After 20 years of wedded bliss, they want to sign up for another 20. Imagine, put that as a perspective out there. Wow. And our youth group, some are sitting here, and there's more coming, I'm sure. You've invited all your friends. They begin on October the 15th at 6 p.m. and is open for youth ages 13 and 18, so that leaves some of us out of the picture. But we can tell people about it and join your group. So email revb@gmail.com for the address and other details. On Wednesdays, Rev B and Cheryl Rogers host Spirit Cafe on the New Thought Media Network at noon on YouTube and Facebook, and the link is in our newsletter. And if you haven't watched one show, I invite you. They're taped and put on YouTube, and they're worthwhile to look up. I think I've missed maybe one or two at the most.
Courageous conversations.
Yes.
Changing times. We will talk about anything.
And they do. Sometimes it comes from people on the chat typing things in, and all of a sudden the conversation goes elsewhere. But they're willing to move that way. And every Friday, Rev B hosts the Joy Show. And that's just one U for short form. Show on the New Thought Media Network as well. And this week, her special guest is Rev Lemetria Hall. Lemetria. There needs to be an accent there. Lemetria Hall from Verity Center for Better Living. The conversation promises to be stimulating. If tonight wasn't stimulating enough, join us Friday as she shares her journey of discovering her authentic self and living her calling. Now, we're going to be bold enough and invite you to join our team. We have numerous opportunities for you to shine your light. Bring your gifts. We invite you to be part of our hospitality team, sound team, tech team, and music team. Oh, so many opportunities. Sign up at the table at the back. There'll be somebody there right after the show. To our founding members, wow, we did it. We did it. And here we are as a result of us supporting the big idea. So I'd like to say something before I continue on that thread, that the gifts that we bring, that we share, are also known as our time, our talent, and our treasure. And I learned this phrase a long time ago, and I still use it today. We are contributors and distributors. We receive and we give back. When I first started using this phrase, people thought I was changing the carburetor in my car. No, that isn't what I meant. But when we give, we also open ourselves up to receive. So when we participate, our individualized expression of the essence, another word for God that we use, and our source is opened and sprinkled upon the world as we know it. So together we can make a difference. And so I wanted to say on behalf of Rev B, myself, and the Board of Trustees, we thank you for your presence, your connection, and your circulation in making a difference in your lives, as well as the wellness of the center. And so I'd ask you for a drum roll, but if you can do whatever you'd like to do. Bravo, bravo. Because we can now continue to have CSL on the Lake has been sharing our good with other charitable organizations. You will be hearing about the numbers that have been raised on our, what do you call that, Rev B? The founding members?
Oh, the founding members club.
Yeah, the founding members club. So tonight we're saving that. Perhaps we'll share that in a couple of weeks or so when we have the real figures for you. And so now we continue to be sharing our good with our charitable organizations. And some of our good goes out to giving scholarships to students who have a desire. And I see 3 lucky people right here that have a desire to learn and needed some financial support. And now here we are, we have a home. We have a home. So we celebrate saying, what a year. And I invite all of you on Zoom and here to pat ourselves on the back. Woo! Because we did it. We moved from on-screen to live shows, live performances. Where do you come and have an entertainer every week? Brilliant. With your helper. Right? This doesn't happen in every center, let me tell you. So that's something to celebrate, to come together, to find a place to hang our hat and our coats. Tonight you needed them when you first got here, though, I must say. But please invite your friends. It'll get warmer as we continue to our events, and in person or online. We are creating a powerful new reality. And now I know the next we would be showing you on our invisible. God is present even in the invisible, as you know, and we are the visible, but we are going to control my mind, saying the offering confirmation. And this is a time for us, each of us, to share our good. If we had a basket here, we'd be asking you to pass it about or make your donations at the back to CSL on the Lake. And so join me in saying our abundance confirmation. I receive with gratitude.
I receive with gratitude.
I use what I receive.
I use what I receive.
I share with love.
I share with love.
Oh, my favorite, the law of circulation
The law of circulation
is active in my life now.
is active in my life now.
I am grateful,
I am grateful,
and all is well and very well.
and All is well and very well.
And so there are numerous ways to give. E-transfer has become a new thing for me. I was petrified of that little tool before, but here it is. Through our website, mailing a check, or dropping your donation into the basket at the back of the room. You may use your debit or credit card. However you choose to give, we are deeply grateful and willing to receive. And now, over to our prize possession.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Well, Rev B and I are going to tag team this. Just like WWE wrestling. Just kidding. I don't even know what that is. So as we close tonight, we're closing consciousness. And so what I know is that there's one power in the universe, infinite, creative, intelligent. Man, it is in the house right now. I can feel this energy of love and peace and joy. And I breathe life into it and I allow it to be my reality, to be the essence, the very vibration of life itself that flows in and through me. And I know for each one of us here that a blessing is realized and revealed through the energy of our connection, the energy of the music, the message, the love that's shared so easily and comfortably and received with such grace.
And as I continue on with this prayer, I can speak from my heart. The healing taking place this evening in myself and in other people, listening and hearing the word, hearing the talk, knowing that all there is this consciousness, and raising the vibration right here in this center for everyone that comes once we even leave, they will walk in and feel this energy from each and every one of you that continue to support us, come and visit us, and live your lives in your way, in your loving way, and showing up.
Your way is the right way. Your way is the way that is right and perfect. Your way is perfect, whole, and complete because you are created in this divine image. And so everything you think about you, everything you think about what's possible, it's right there. It's right where you are. And so I invite you to just be you. Everybody else is taken. So be you. Be that light, be that love, and take in this energy of possibility.
And in this possibility, we are awake and aware of everything that is permeating through each of us. And whether we are standing here on the stage or walking out on the street, people will see us and feel us, vibrating the love from our hearts to theirs. May this consciousness rise above all that is going on that some consider chaos, and we stand in the truth with a capital T, knowing that all is well.
All is well. All is well. And with a grateful, grateful heart, we say together, and so it is. Oh, I love you, my dear. Two or more gathered. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for being on the Zoom stream, the YouTube, the Facebook, the wherever you're watching from. And we'll be back next week. Catch you later.
And we wish to give our kindest, warmest regard to Dave.
To Dave and to
To
Genevieve.
Genevieve, come, 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 come,
Take a
come,
bow,
come.
Dave. Take a bow. It's been a joy.
And to our tech team,
Oh, our tech team.
the cameraman, and to each and every one of you who open up your hearts to come and support and to
Thank
look
you.
upon with love. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.